Hey, welcome back, my fellow humble investors. It's me, E.T. You guys know the drill. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a self-taught investor who likes to talk about good companies, increasing one's net worth, and you guys know I love talking about Humbl. Today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss why I'm still in Humbl, and is Humbl a good buy at $1.42? So let's check it out. So, why am I still in Humbl? Let me just kind of give you the backdrop here. Right now, I have a cost basis of $2.34 when it comes to Humbl. I am down 39%. That's, for me, that's roughly about $3,700. May not sound like a lot to some of you guys. I know a lot of you guys are more invested in Humbl than I am. However, the reason that I'm in Humbl is because I see the long-term potential of Humbl, not just the short term. I'm not in it to trade. I started out that way, but as I started to learn more about this company, it went from just, a trade or a swing trade to a speculative buy and hold. Now, I believe that Humbl, as it starts to grow in revenue, it's going to graduate from my speculative buy and hold to my ride or die stocks. Now, the ride or die stocks that I have, these are some of these stocks that I'm going to hang on forever and a day. We'll see how that works. Only time will tell. But bottom line, I believe that Humbl is on the path, for me personally, to be that one of my ride or die stocks. Now, this Humbl movie, is going to end one or two ways. It's either going to live up to the potential and eventually take off to the moon, or it's going to be a dud. It's going to be a bust. That's the risk reward. Now, if it takes off to the moon, that's great. It's probably going to make some of us out there Humbl millionaires. Maybe not me, but it's going to make me a whole lot of money. Now, if it's a bust, if it's a dud, that's not going to bankrupt me. It's not going to, it's not going to really hurt me financially. It's going to be more like a pinch. I'll say, ouch. It's not going to be a slap in the face. It's not going to be like a broken bone, and it's not going to bankrupt me or be the death of me financially. For me, the price of $1.42 is still a buy. Remember, my cost basis is $2.34. Anything below my cost basis, I'm going to continue to buy. What that's going to do is going to lower that cost basis, and it's going to increase in my shares. So this is accumulation phase for me. One of the things that I definitely believe in, and I read it again in Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. One of the things he talked about in becoming wealthy is that you're going to go through a phase of accumulation, and then you're going to go through that phase of critical mass. And realistically, when I read that, the first thing I thought of was that exponential growth chart. We've all seen it. And I think that's what we're going to experience with Humbl as investors, and what Humbl is going to experience when it comes to stock appreciation. And I want to dive into that just a little bit. So let's just go to the board so that I can show you what I'm thinking about and what I'm talking about when I say accumulation, critical mass. Now, all of those large cap companies that's been around for a while goes through this phase. Same thing happens with individual investors when they start to accumulate wealth. In order to get to that point, you're going to have to go through that exponential growth phase. We've all heard that story of example of exponential growth. I'll give you $1 million now, or I'll give you a penny today, and you'll double that penny every day for the next 30 days. Which one would you take? Initially, most people would think, okay, I'll go with the $1 million. However, we all know the end story. At the end of 30 days, that penny that's doubling every day for 30 days is going to be worth over $5 million. That is an example of that exponential growth. Humbl is going through that process now. And also us individual investors trying to get to that place is going to go through that same phase when we're following Humbl. What I mean by that, there is the price of Humbl is like this now. It's going to be doing this. It's going to be doing this. Then it's going to get to a phase where it's going to just grow out of this world. This phase here in Tony Robbins' book, but also when you start talking about exponential growth, this here is the accumulation phase. Now, what happens during the accumulation phase? It's boring. It's not exciting. It's not sexy. Use the example of the penny. Think about it. After about 5 days, you still don't have that much money. And you think there's no way that I'm going to reach this end point at the rate that I'm going. But that's not the case. What's going on now with Humbl during this accumulation phase? This realistically is their build out phase. We know what they're going through right now. We've seen everything, all the pieces that they're putting in place. The acquisitions, the collaborations with Athlete First, the acquisition of Tickery, the contract that they have down there in Chile. All of those things, that's building out. We're waiting for the peer-to-peer. We've seen the EXTs, that's building out. We've seen little bumps in the price of the stock, but then it goes back down, and we're still in this accumulation phase. Some of the things that is going to help us get through this phase and how fast we get through this phase is going to be continue on with that build out. We're going to need to get some earnings up under our belt. More than likely, we're going to need at least a year's worth of earnings. So that's going to be 4 quarters of earnings that we need to get on our belt. We need to continue to send out those press releases, let us know what's going on in the company. Very transparent company. That's a huge plus. But as we start to do this, we start to move down this path of exponential growth. I said exponential growth. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to head down this path here. Then we're going to get to this point, and he calls it this next point here. He called this as the critical mass phase. Yes, this phase from here, probably all the way up to here. Critical mass. That's when it really starts to pick up steam. And we get to see all of the patience, the benefits, and all the results of all of this build out, all of this results of this accumulation phase. Us as investors, this is the phase we're in right now. Accumulation. That basically means accumulating shares of stock. Accumulating shares of Humbl. So that way, when it gets to this phase here, hey, look out. Now, one of two things, like I said, is going to happen. Either we're going to see this potential happen, or it's going to be a bust. Everything points that this is the route that we're on right now. How long is it going to take before we get to this critical mass phase? I don't know. But as long as we keep this building out and doing everything, increase our awareness, and more people become aware of what Humbl is about and what service that Humbl can provide and what problems Humbl can solve, as they start to recognize that, and as we continue to build and grow, there's probably things we don't know about that we have the capability of solving various types of problems, because blockchain technology is starting to be somewhat have endless possibilities. So this is the route that we're going. That's the reason why I'm staying with Humbl. I'm going to continue to have those diamond hands, and that I believe that $1.42 is still a buy. I'm not trading. I'm going to take, however long it takes, as long as we're making progress in this direction. So that way, when it gets here, we'll all sit back and tell all those people who doubted us, I told you so. All right, let's take a look now at the price action. I'll give you guys an update real quick on the performance of my ETXs in block 3 and block 5. So let's check out the slides real quick.
Hey, Humble Nation, I need you guys to do me a really big favor. Make sure that you hit that like, subscribe, and notification buttons. That'll really help out the channel. Thanks a lot. Humble, buy, sell, or hold at $1.42. You guys know my position. I'm buying more and I'm holding. Now, this one here is a tweet from Rob Luna, pretty much confirming his scheduled visit to Humbl's headquarters on the 17th of June. He says, looking forward to sharing my insights with the investment community. I will be the first person from financial media invited to explore Humbl office, product line, partners, and tech roadmap. This should be great exposure for Humbl. All right. Here is the price action, 5-day price action. And as we can see on Friday, it opened at 145, closed at 142. The volume on Friday was at about 9.6 million. The 10-day average was at 11.6. So volume was a little down. And the 5-day trend line is a declining trend line for the 5 days there. This is a side-by-side of Humbl and Forwardly. As you know, Forwardly is my indirect play on Humbl as well. How goes Humbl, so goes Forwardly. This here is the short interest, bottom line. As you can see on Friday, the short volume ratio was at 54%. For the whole week, we were above, the shorts were above that 50% line. From what I'm told, anything above 20 is considered high short interest. And on the Lion, the most searched stocks within the last 72 hours, Humbl is moved from first place to the fifth place there. And as you can see by looking at this, you've got a lot of you have some of your meme stocks on here: AMC, Palantir, HCMC as well. Now, this is my position, current position in Humbl and Forwardly. Humbl, I'm down 39%. Forwardly, I'm down 29%. But the bottom line is this here. When you look at my cost basis for Humbl at $2.34, anything below that is buying opportunity in my book. So that way I can accumulate more shares. Now, when it comes to my account summary for Humbl Financial, my ETX, Block 3, Block 5, started off as an initial $1,000 investment. $331 went into Block 3. $662 went into Block 5. And as you can see, Block 3, I'm down 27%. Block 5, I'm down 24%. Let's take a look at a week by week. Here's my week by week chart. Initial investment of $1,000. The current value is $746.27. I am down 25%.
As you can see, not much happened in the way of news last week. Humbl stock, the 5-day trend was down. My ETX is down 25%. Bottom line, I'm holding, I'm buying. So let's see what happens this coming week. With that being said, I'll see you guys next Sunday, if not sooner. Take care. Bye-bye.